G'day everyone and welcome to my Galaxy Note 4 review. Now over the past week I've been using this in and out of school and also a bit on the weekend. So that adds up to about 6 days. And I'll be happy to share with you my thoughts on the device after a week of using it. Although a week is actually pretty short and I didn't get to use all the functions or features and I may have missed out on a couple of things. So bear with me as I talk my way through. Hopefully this video isn't too long, but I shall keep it quite crisp and simple. So one of the first things people think about when they're buying for example, Galaxy Note is the size. Although features are great, functionality is really cool, like with the pen and all that, and added features that Samsung has improved or implemented into the software. But what if it doesn't fit in your pocket? What if your hands are too small and you can't reach the corners, the sides, whatever it may be? Well, my hands are pretty small, I guess you could say. They're the size of the Note 4. But when you hold it, it fits alright, actually. In my pockets as well. I guess it honestly depends what kind of pants you like to wear. If you're keen on wearing skinny jeans, you probably don't want to have this phone out in your pocket, of course. Not that it would bend or anything. But it would be better if you had it in like a separate bag, like a man purse or a purse if you're a lady. And yeah, if you have small pockets, I wouldn't recommend putting this in. It'll probably fall out. Like one time I almost left it on the bus because it like slid out. Like that's what happens if you've got really big pockets in your pants. But anyway, about the size, it is quite comparable to I think it was the iPhone 6 Plus, although I don't have one to show you guys. I should bring in another phone model to demonstrate. But I don't know, a bottle of water even. It's like the same width as the bottle of water, but oh well, so the main point I'm trying to portray here is that it isn't that big, actually. When you keep on using it, you'll think this is like the normal size of most phones, and then you're gonna see some with the iPhone 5, the 5S or something, or the 6, and you'll be like, man, what kind of phone do you have? Is it from like the 1980s or something? Real small? Not 1980s, they were huge. But like, if you had one of those small Nokia bricks or something. But honestly, I think phones these days should be around maybe 4.7 and up. So like the iPhone 6 is alright, but even I consider that to be a bit small. Could be just my eyes or whatever, or like more screen real estate to watch videos and all that. We'll get onto that a bit later while talking about the display. But so far the build is very nice with its chamfered edges all around. It's Quad HD display with Gorilla Glass 3. It's got its cameras up there, its sensors, many sensors, speaker, fingerprint reader, home button, app switcher and back, and on the side you can definitely feel it's more premium, more solid build and compared to the Note 3 even, with its legit metal and with its volume rocker here that looks a bit weird, but that's alright. You can differentiate volume up and down. It's good for like a blind feel, so you can know what you're pressing without really looking at it. On the side here we have the power button, and at the top we have our IR blaster, another microphone, and the 3.5mm headphone jack. And wrapped around on the bottom we have our standard USB 2.0 port with fast charge. I do have a demonstration on that recorded already, so I'll pretty much be overlapping videos or overlaying as I'm talking here. And of course our S Pen, and on the back here we have our 16 megapixel camera, I believe, with optical image stabilization that can record in 4K as well. We have our single LED flash and our heart rate monitor, or heart rate sensor, our shiny Samsung logo, and our actually quite amazingly powerful speakers. Under the removable back with its faux leather kind of look, I don't know if you can see that very well, but we have our NFC part, not NFC, sorry, just like padding. NFC is in the battery, of course. We have our pins here to support wireless charging, so there are no pins here. So micro SD card that fits in, and a micro SIM as opposed to a nano SIM. As you can see here, the speaker is actually quite large in space, and it only allows for a tiny cutout, really, like that. So that's it for its internals and externals. I'll just click this back on. And so now let's talk about the screen. The screen is probably one of the best I've seen out of a smartphone, but really you cannot tell whether it's 4K or 1080p, even if you look like quite close. The only thing like you can really tell is when you put it up right to your face. And really, no one really does that. Because I went to the Apple store today, and the iPhone 6, you couldn't really see the pixels unless you really focused, or either put your face right up to like a corner up here where notification or their signal strength is. So right now in applications like this, for example, the weather, you can definitely see the background's a bit low quality, but it does move, so that's pretty cool. But definitely text and I guess vector images, they'll look stunning on this ultra high definition display. So such as browsing the web, see if I got any web pages open. Yeah, Android 5.0 Lollipop. My internet's capped at the moment, so probably won't load up pages very well. Probably have to reach into the cache and get it. So reading text like this is definitely very beautiful. Like this is fully zoomed in, and you can't, even like this, you can't see any pixels. And web browsing on this is pretty much amazing. It's very good, very fluid. Everything loads up pretty fast, providing that you got a nice internet connection. And the colors on this, they're actually quite not as saturated as before, you could say. Before, you could tell that, oh, there's extra vibrance, extra color, whatever you want to say. But it's really kind of natural or neutral, if you like. So web browsing on this is definitely a blast. Watching videos, a bit of montage parodies here and there, maybe some other tech videos, it's definitely alright. And playing games on this is definitely good with the beast hardware inside. Even emulators like My Boy, which can run on like pretty much any device ever made without any problems. Even DS emulators are pretty good. I'm not really into gaming on my phone, apart from those little games like Circle. Even Circle's pretty good running on this thing. I mean, like, you can throw anything at it. And yeah, so speaking of display, we also speak about battery. So the battery life on this is very well. I've been out for like 4 or 5 hours already today, and it's only lost 40%, and I was listening to music on the train back home and doing a bit of web browsing. So if you look into the battery history, it is in power saving for some reason. I've been 8 hours on battery and I've only lost 40%, and screen takes up most, of course. I have this on full brightness at the moment so it doesn't flicker while recording. As you can see, it's just been going down a bit, and this is when I started actually using my phone in the last hour or so. And yeah, I've left Wi-Fi on and all that, and it shouldn't be charging. Yeah, it wasn't charging. And the fast charge on this is actually really cool. I have a short clip here that I'll overlay, and basically I'll leave it on. I'll plug it in at 8 o'clock, and by, not 8 o'clock, 7:30, and by 8 o'clock it pretty much reaches its 60%, if not a bit more. So definitely charging this beast is very easy and very quick. And let's move along to audio quality. Now, taking phone calls on this does sound very different. I think the speakers on this, or the earpiece is definitely very good. The quality is very good on Vodafone's network. Couldn't say the same about the network. I'm joking about it. Vodafone is pretty good around this area. Sending messages was fine. And yeah, about the display, typing on this is very nice. You got your full keyboard. Well, every device has a full keyboard, but it's actually very easy to type on this. For really quick typing, like my friend can do, he's like on Facebook 24/7. He can type very well on this. I lent it to him like for 20 minutes because he wanted to update his status and talk to friends. And he said, oh, he really liked typing on this. So typing on this is phenomenal. It's very easy to do, and there's really no problems. So next we'll talk about the audio. Now I said the earpiece sounded really crisp, real high. What about the back speaker? So we'll have the demonstration here right now, and this camera to the phone is about 30, 40, 50 centimeters even. And I'll give you my thoughts on this right now. We'll play some copyrighted music, of course. It's only halfway, and it's almost pretty much starting to fill up the room. So if I put it face down, you can hear the change. It comes more a bit like tinny, you could say, because it is like a backfiring speaker. It will fire into the table and then like spread out underneath. Alright, so also, this is only on like half its volume, and when you crank it up, it doesn't actually sound very nice. It's a bit, when they have pronounced like the S, like it really pierces your ears. So I'll turn it up a bit, but it might get really loud. So prepare to turn down your volumes if you can. So this is still backfiring. I'm probably yelling right now, but it's still backfiring behind, so it might not sound as good. But if I turn it around, it should sound a little bit better, if not a bit worse. It definitely is louder. I think it might be even louder than the HTC One M8, which I also have. I should do a side-by-side demonstration, perhaps in another video. I'm probably running short on film, but it's very easy to cover. But like when the syllables clashed together, it did sound a bit. It did sound very bad. Well, not very bad, like bearable, but could be better. So that's it for the speakers. I'll probably get sued for all this, but that's alright. As long as the truth gets out, that's all that really matters. I haven't really done a review before, but I have also some camera footage, but the camera on this is definitely very nice, even with like the HDR and all that. HDR is enabled on the side here. Our front camera is also very good. Right, yeah. So also you can enable 4K recording and also change like the picture size here if you like. 16:9 is fine because 16:9 is the best. Timer, flash, all the usual stuff, and you got all your massive menu. You can't scroll on it. Not that massive, but video size here. I did do some 4K recording over at Sydney University. That was pretty sweet there. You can change all this according to whatever you like, and also options like HDR, what mode, and whether pressing the volume buttons will take photos. So the camera is very good. I'll upload the 4K footage so you can download it and have a look for yourselves. But all else, pictures and stuff should be like showing right up now on your screen. And let's talk about I guess the display again. I'll find a photo. Actually, the photo should be up there, but this display is definitely very vivid, excellent for watching videos, like I've said before, and also doing work. I've mentioned a lot of things, really, and the functionality, I think that's the last thing I'll probably talk about. The functionality of the Galaxy Note 4 is excellent with its S Pen. I have another video detailing some of the things you can do within Air Command, and also multi-window and the slide-out window. I'm going to call it a pop-out window, that's one. So it's small, and also some accessibility features to help people use the Galaxy Note 4 with smaller hands. But the S Pen is definitely a pleasure to use. People think it's actually very useful. In fact, I got my review notes here, which I'll quickly read. So, yep, I was just talking about specs. I've got to elaborate on the S Pen, but the S Pen is definitely very good with their new kind of how far the pressure sensor, of course. I've covered the action memos and all that. Next page, ultra power saving. That is a cool thing. It pretty much, I'll demonstrate it right now while talking about storage right after. So you can access ultra power saving mode within the notification, like quick settings. Tap on that, and it actually takes a while to enable. So it would say 9.7 days I could put my phone away. So these are kind of like the little things that's saying what it will do to conserve battery life. And this is just like the maximum standby, because if you keep on using this, man, it will just go down anyway. But enabling this does take a while. I'm not too sure why. It changes all the color to like a grayscale, as you can see right here. And also, yeah, I'll just let that do its thing for a moment. And let's talk about storage. So it is expandable with micro SD card up to 128 gigs. It has already, well, this is a 32 gig model. I'm sure there's a 64 gig, but it wasn't available in stores in Australia at that time. But I'm sure you can actually get like, it's pretty high and all that. So this has off Wi-Fi, but leaves mobile data on for some reason, for now. Oh no, I turned it off. So pretty much, it's like a dumb phone, you could say. There is a bit of mobile data. But you can go on the internet phone, but everything's kind of like grayed out. I'm not sure about the internet, if it still like shows any color. But if it doesn't show any color, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, so it's completely grayscale. If you can see here, the International Business Times is usually blue, and so it's pretty much a completely grayscale experience. So that would save on a lot of battery. Let me just go home to the power saving mode, and I'll disable it. So you also get minimum notifications, and now pops back out the color. And now we'll talk about the miscellaneous things now. I think I've pretty much covered everything, and I'll talk about price near the end. So we'll have a quick demo of the heart rate sensor that's on the back here. And when I had the Spigen case, the capsule, I couldn't really get it to work through this. I don't know if it was just me, or my fingers are too small, whatever. I just didn't want to measure my heart rate through that. So I'll quickly demo it now. So you also have the S Health app, which is used for fitness activity tracking. So if you get the Samsung Sport Band, you can track your heart rate and then record it to S Health. Also has a pedometer inside and like barometers and all that, so you can tell the oxygen saturation. Oh, in my blood. So okay, so there are two sensors really. So let's just give this a go. You can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's lit up a tiny bit, and when I hold it over, it's red. And let's just see what it is here. There we go. It chimed a little bit, and I am alright. Well, what is SpO2? Oxygen saturation, high altitude. So I guess it's the amount of oxygen that's traveling through your blood. So if you don't have enough, you should probably, I don't know, breathe more or something. So that's cool. So that's our oxygen saturation thing. And we also have our heart rate monitor, which works by placing your finger on the sensor behind. So I'll just quickly record one now. Alright, so it's a little bit tedious on these things. They never work too well, so I'll just give it a go one more time. There we are, my heart rate is 91. I don't know what that means. I might be going crazy, or I'm really nervous talking about the camera. I was shaking a little bit while holding it, but that's probably just me. Let's just back out all of this, and so pretty much the infrared blaster works with the smart remote that is available here. You can adjust this to turn on your TV, set-top box, whatever you like. And also, those are pretty much, that's it. And apart from the Samsung wallet, which doesn't really work at the moment here in Australia, and some apps aren't supported by multi-window, which is a bit of a shame. I guess that's just how it is. And also, I think I pretty much covered everything that I've thought of. I thought a review would cover more things, but not. So we'll just talk about price then for the last couple seconds. I bought this for $914 at the local Telstra store. The advertised price is actually higher than what I paid them. So they actually checked their systems, it was like $912 instead. At Optus, they were selling it the cheapest at $888. And Vodafone, they weren't selling outright at the time, but I'm sure you can pick one up for around 900 or high 80s, 800s or low 900s. But in my opinion, or I guess I can give a final verdict, is that the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 is a tremendous update from either the Note 2 or Note 1, but it's essentially an S5 with a bigger screen, you could say, and a pen. If you're not really fancying the heart rate monitors, or the new metal design, or the new S Pen, which is only just really one extra feature to it, stick with your Note 3, really save the money. It's not really worth upgrading from that, unless you're a real tech head and you like the latest things. Yeah, so this is actually a pretty solid device. I would compare it to say an iPhone 6 Plus even, but this may be one of the best phones of this year even, but we'll see what comes out, what's coming out or came out, like the Xperia Z3, which looks very promising. I might get that, but right now the M8 looks pretty swell as one of the best phones I've ever used personally. The Note 4, one other thing, with the Note 4, when I first got it out of the box, you would always notice a bit of stuttering or lag, you could say, if you're really picky. With certain things, I really can't remember. It was either going to... It was something that I did. I went on it a couple times and it just like hang for a little bit. I think the web browser is the worst offender out of all of them. I don't think the phone is like... Contacts, that's pretty straightforward. But the internet browser, I think, like things like these animations, it really doesn't... They're pretty silly. You can swipe that way. But I think web browsing was a little bit slow. But there was another thing that was going on that made it a little bit more slow. Like, I think it was... Can't put my head on it, but... Music app's a bit fiddly, it didn't work. Well, it does work, but I like the old one. Gallery, maybe? No, gallery's pretty good. Here's some of the photos I took while out and about. And you gotta rotate like that. Yeah, right there. So I will be putting these on, and they do look pretty good. Ones with HDR, ones without. I really can't tell the difference. And that was the meal I had today, which was fantastic, covered in sauce really. It's like a internal hemorrhage of the cheeseburger. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my Galaxy Note 4 review. It may not have been a review, just my 2 cents on the matter. So thank you guys for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more upcoming videos, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.